What I mm, 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 mm. All right, there we go. Hold up, a little bit louder. There we go. Definitely, I like that. Okay, okay, there we go. Oh my goodness. Chat is acting up today. All right, now that we got everything set, what's good, guys? We are live on a Wednesday, of course, scheduled on time as usual. Psych. But anyways, we're gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching some of that uncensored with Myron, and then we're gonna finish off with a Sneako and Adin with Nick and Andrew and Tate and Tristan. I mean, so yeah, we'll finish. We'll start with the Myron, and then we'll end with the Sneako and Nick. So yeah, let's get right into it.
The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these mother like they mean something.
Perfect. Perfect.
Right, we can come in with our different opinions, guys. Don't harass them, by the way, please. Be respectful. What's up, man?
All right. The Ukrainian guy came up earlier. My
Yep.
parents are from Russia, and
There we go.
I just think
He's
that,
like, fuck that guy.
No, that's actually the opposite of what I'm saying. I think it's kind of disingenuous to say that Russia was just being, a victim of NATO aggression, because Russia also invaded Georgia in 2008 and took like half of their land. And then they had like a bloody war with Chechnya when they wanted to do anything. Like, there's been a longer history of this than just Ukraine, and Putin does not care for like human rights or anything. I just think it's wrong to say it's NATO's fault.
Neither do we. The problem is this. Let's be very honest here. World superpowers get away with doing all types of war crimes because they're world superpowers. We did the same in Iraq. We had no reason to invade Iraq, but we did. I would argue, actually, if I'm going to be very honest here, I would argue the Russians have far more justification and right to invade Ukraine than we did invading Iraq.
I think that's kind of a whataboutism. Like,
Well, it's
sure.
not about whataboutism. It's about the reality that world superpowers invade sovereignty. Disrupt sovereignty and commit war crimes all the time because they don't have to be held accountable because they have nukes, and that's what it comes down to, having a monopoly on force. Like, yeah, it could be wrong, but the reality is, like, we do the same exact shit, and I would argue we do worse.
Sure.
Russia has way more justification to invade Ukraine than we did Iraq.
Well,
We invaded Iraq for the Jews, actually, if we're going to be all the way honest.
I just don't think it's entirely fair. Like, okay, I think it's a bad point. Like, yeah, I think the invasion of Iraq was unjustified, but you're trying to defend the invasion of Ukraine, saying, oh, like NATO was expanding, whatever.
No, I'm not. I'm saying why. I think it's very important to understand the why and why things happen.
I mean, sure, it can be a why, but you can also say why for Iraq. That doesn't make it right. And I think
No, it's fucked up. I agree with
how
you
is
that.
it possible?
I'm not disagreeing with you that it's fucked up. I'm just telling you that, like, this is the reality of geopolitics and how world superpowers operate.
But then why would they invade Georgia? What's the reason for that?
I'm not too familiar with why they invaded Georgia. I'm assuming it's probably something to do with national security. But when it comes to Ukraine, we know that was pretty much because of NATO expansion, and they felt that NATO was expanding and the West was getting too much influence in Ukraine, which you can see now they were kind of right. Look at how much support we're giving Ukraine right now. So they absolutely fell under our sphere of influence, and for them that was too close to home, and that's why they invaded.
Yeah, I mean, in Georgia they had free, fair elections where they had Saakashvili, or not. That's sorry. They had like this guy who was somewhat pro-West, but there were no like bases being created. Like,
Well, this
they
is why
kinda just
this is
invaded.
why I'm like a hardcore anti-war non-interventionist because we
No.
run into problems like this. Like we're over here saying, "Oh, Russia's so evil for invading Ukraine."
No. But yeah, like that's why it's so annoying that he's like arguing his point, because it's like, bro, we do the same shit. We are gonna do the same exact shit to Mexico if they did that. If Russia did that with Mexico, like we would do the same exact shit, bro. So relax. So
But we've been, meddling in their affairs for a very long time. I mean, this is what happens when you become an interventionist. Like, you're going to deal with consequences. Like, Russia was like, yo, you guys are falling way too much into U.S. sphere of influence. We're going to invade. Well, they were kind of right, because look at how much we're backing up Ukraine right now. So that's why they did what they did. And I think, like, having a foreign policy where we're constantly meddling in other people's affairs sets us up and puts us in really bad situations. And that's why we're stuck in this war now to this day. And that's why we're still stuck in the Middle East as well, right? We're fighting Israel's wars
we need to mind our damn business. That's all we need to do.
for them, and they're giving
We
them
need to be like Thailand.
aid. So I think this whole, war hawk neocon foreign policy is an issue.
Okay, as long as I just felt like you were kind of defending the invasion. That was my issue there. And then,
Well, I think that their invasion is more justified than our invasions.
Hey creators, it's beginning to feel a lot like the perfect time to tag your holiday gift guides with YouTube.
okay, my second question would be:
Yeah.
you talk about like the like Jewish world order and all that stuff, but I would argue that a lot of like clearly some of the biggest pro-Palestinian voices are Jewish, and I
Yep.
don't understand how you.
No, I agree with that. And that's why I never say all Jews.
But then why do you always say like hot Jew or whatever? Like, why can't you say Zionist? Why do you do that?
Because it's important to understand that number one, most Zionists are Jews. Well, excuse me, most Jews are Zionists, right? Though there is a percentage that isn't. And the reality is we do have to identify the problem sometimes, and a lot of times it comes down to world Jewry and the tribalism that a lot of Jews express when it comes to the defense of Israel.
I guess that's it. All right.
No problem.
Thank
Nigga be mad that it's the Jews. It's the Jews, bro. Am I on YouTube?
Yeah.
I sure.
All right.
Fuck.
Disagreement or?
Yeah, stop. Well, disagreement, a question. I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um,
It's just what
so,
it is.
like, for your big thing, like, initially you were saying 35, 6 figures, 6 months of savings, and, like, sleep with 50 women, right?
Yep.
Well, my only question is, like, I agree with most of that. I really do. I agree with most of the stuff. But one thing, like, how can every guy sleep with 50 women and then there still be chaste women? That's kind of what I'm confused about.
And still be what?
Like,
Chase
have
women?
yeah.
Not every guy's gonna be able to do that. That's pretty obvious. Not every nigga. Do you think you see every animal survive in the wild? All right.
Like, good
Oh,
women
well,
to.
the reality is most guys are not going to do that.
Yeah.
The like, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is that most men are virtually invisible to most women.
I know I am.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, so, like, it's only going to be a few guys that decide to do the work anyway, because most guys don't want to do all that.
And then another thing, this is like a psychology thing. I mean, not, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, like, Bible thumpers, Quran thumpers, Torah thumpers. Like, for example, like, I saw Matt Walsh. He was going off on you and a couple other people. And he was...
No, he went off on me? Shit, what I do this time?
Well, yeah. I don't know, Tuesday. But, he was going off, and he was like, the divorce rate isn't 50, it's 33, idiot. And I'm like, well, that's still fucking a third. What, like, how much better is that? Like,
Yeah.
what's with them thinking that we're still in the 50s and still in this age where that's, like, attainable? It's fucking nuts. I mean,
Yeah,
look around.
well, that's the problem with, like, trad cons and, a lot of these, like, influencers, like, they don't live in the real world a lot of times. Like, Matt Walsh is like,
And even though I'm Christian and I believe in the Bible, I still keep it 100 with you guys, because that's not how most of these bitches is operating. All right, this is a new age. This is a gynocentric society now, so bitches aren't operating through the Bible. So if you think you're gonna get bitches from learning from the Bible, it's not gonna work. Okay. Can you still operate as a Christian? Yes, but using Bible methods isn't gonna work. You're gonna have to modernize your tactics. All right.
married, why can't you make like he doesn't understand that like the women that young men have now are not the same young women that he grew up with. You know what I mean? Hell, like even the girls from my generation are different because they didn't have social media and grew up with a cell phone like your guys' generation. So they're completely out of tune and out of touch with what young men deal with. And this is a big reason why, so many of these TradCon influencers, like their base is older. They're not young men, right? That's why guys like me and Nick and others, like we get it. Like and that's why we resonate a lot better with younger men because we know what the fuck.
Well, because we have to deal with these bitches. They don't have to deal with these bitches. Most of these TradCon niggas had them been married for 30 years, been out the game for 1,000,000 years. They haven't had to go on a date or try to get some coochie in 1,000,000 years. Okay? So, these niggas aren't in the game or in the field. These niggas are behind desks now, okay? They don't know that these bitches got bazookas and we out here with swords. They don't know that. They behind the desk eating chips and shit with their feet kicked up. They don't know what the fuck is going on in the field. These bitches got bazookas and these niggas is giving us swords and shit. Okay? So I'm here to give you niggas at least a handgun. at least a handgun, because these bitches is running around with bazookas. Okay?
You guys are going through. These guys are fucking completely delusional and don't know what's going on.
It's kind of frustrating to watch because it's like, you see, they'll even have kids our age and they'll just still not get it. Like, I get if my dad doesn't, he's old as fuck, but like when they don't get it, it's like, and they're in the mix.
Bro, not even that. My dad, you know what my dad said? My dad said, Shorty got, I was talking to this guy. This is how I knew my dad was on game. I was talking to him and I was like, I give at least, because I do like a little 3-date maybe. That's what I used to do. I don't do that shit no more. So don't be looking at me like I do that shit anymore. I don't do that shit no more. I used to do a 3-date minimum if I was really fucking with you. I really didn't even really do 3-date because like the first date is we almost did it, but we didn't have time to do, or something happened. Something happened. Second date, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it had to have happened second date, or I would never fucking saw you again. But third date, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I would never. But my nigga was like, Jay, I don't even know if I would do 2. that's a real nigga. So that's when I knew he was a real nigga, because he's not wasting his time with these bitches. Okay.
You know, seeing this stuff, so I just never got it. You know.
Yeah, they're retarded, dude. That's that.
But most niggas didn't have their dads. So that's why most niggas act like females and have the shared authority and we're partners and 50-50 and that dumb bullshit they've been tricked into. Yeah, so it's a tough one.
That's one of the biggest blind spots that a lot of these trad conservatives like have, is like they just don't know what it's like to deal with modern women as a young guy. Thank you, man. All right. Who's up next?
And most of these niggas are just cucks who have succumbed to the feminism bullshit and listened to it and the happy wife, happy life bitch assery that we have going on.
Guess who's coming to the big screen? I don't know.
I don't give a fuck, because
I got a question. It's more like it's about I can't even say.
Damn, that nigga can't even. Hopefully he ain't one of them.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Just call him trannies. I just call him trannies. It's fine. It's easier.
Can you name a single major? And I'm not very educated, so it's more like I want to see your opinions on it.
Yeah.
But can you name a major medical or psychological organization that classifies being transgender as a mental illness?
Well, they'll never do that.
They used to do that. That's what's so funny. That's what it used to be, a mental fucking illness. But now you can't do that, because guess what? The left is going to cancel you. You won't get no more funds no more. You won't get no more donations. All your sponsors is going to be gone.
Well, why is that?
They would consider it unethical and fucked up. They would never do that. So that's like me just being a real nigga and saying it. But like they would never ever do that.
Yeah. So why would you consider it a mental illness?
Because there's two genders.
Because there's only 2 genders, and if you think you can be something else that you're not, you are sick. Okay? If you think you can be a cat, or if you think you could be a man and you're a woman, if you think you're a woman, you could be a man, you are sick in the head. Okay? It's not even about being gay. It's more so about just thinking you're something that you're not. It's like a nigga, like I said, it's like a nigga coming to me and saying, I'm a dog, you got to recognize me as a dog. Why the fuck do I got to do that? That sounds like a mental illness. If a nigga came to me and said, if a bitch came up to me and said, I'm a man, I was like, no, you're a woman. She's like, no, I'm a fucking man. I would think she's, retarded or like, mentally ill. I wouldn't think she was sane or in her right mind or, she was thinking, regularly, normally. I wouldn't assume that. I would think she is mentally ill. So that is one of the reasons why they are mentally ill.
And if you don't understand what gender you are, something's wrong with you. And a lot of these people tend to have issues with, being something like 80 or 90% of them are on some type of antidepressant medication. It's just like something is wrong with you if you don't know what bathroom you should be going to.
Okay. And so that kind of answers a little bit of my other one. Do you also believe homosexuality is a mental illness, since that used to be a medical view?
I
Or
was about to say, and when I meant by not even talking about gay, because being gay is a mental illness too. If you like getting fucked in the ass as a man, there's something wrong with you, nigga. Promise you. There's something mentally wrong with you if you like to get bent over as a man. That should fucking disgust you. That should make you want to rip the world apart, being demasculized like that, or not demasculized, emasculated like that. That should make you want to rip the fucking world apart. Some nasty shit like that, and you niggas do it willingly. That's a mental illness. Something in your head is fucked to think that you should be getting fucked. Okay.
can medical understanding evolve?
Yeah, I think I think something's wrong with them as well. Yeah.
Okay. So like overall, do you think like not like respectfully, do you think your personal beliefs like overview like medical beliefs? Because like medically,
So what's funny is bro came up and he said I'm not educated at all, but then he's trying to throw the fucking questions like he knows what's going on. It seems like he was trying to get a nice clip out of this because he's like, oh, I know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say they got a mental illness, they got a mental illness, and it's all his opinion. So I'm gonna go up and say, well, do you think your opinion overrides? Like, yes. And I knew he was gonna. I knew he was something. It might not have been trans, but I knew he was sweet or some shit. Like I knew he was. I knew he was something. Like this nigga. I was like, bro, I could hear it in your voice.
they don't think of it as like a mental illness.
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna because they don't want to be offensive. There would be all types of like ethical.
Yeah, and they also cut children's penises off. They also fucking fix vagina females' vaginas. Like they like, what are you talking about, bro? Like just because the government does something doesn't make it right. That's what's wrong with you dumbass niggas. Y'all niggas are so blindly led by the government. Oh my God, the government, they don't do no wrong. Like they're literally letting you cut your kids' fucking private parts off. You fucking, y'all are lucky I'm on YouTube. Like this shit is crazy.
Problems with them saying that. Like if you were to say, oh yeah, well mentally, transgenders are mentally ill, they'd be, this actually comes back to that. Remember that gynocentric social order I was talking about?
Yeah.
Like since women run, especially when it comes to the psychology industry now, women are starting to dominate there. And when it comes to that, women
Make sure that YouTube
by
ain't kicking
nature
me
are
off.
more communitarian and let's all be in our feelings and be nice to people and everything else like that. So of course they're not going to label transgenderism or homosexuality as a mental illness, but it is. Something's wrong with these people.
Okay, but studies show that actually like people who transition tend to be like not be as depressed or have problems like that.
I swear I had the stat of like people who transition, something about them deleting themselves. I forgot I had the stat. We're gonna let him talk.
They used to face.
That's not true.
You don't think
People
so?
people that transition and people that have people that identify as transgenders overwhelmingly have mental issues and have a high rate of being on antidepressant medication or being on some type of mental medication.
Was that before or after they transitioned?
Both.
Okay, so you think it like after they transition, it would rise up rather than like lower?
Yeah, because you realize once you cut your dick off, you're not. That doesn't like. That's what I'm saying. I swear, niggas be cutting their dicks off thinking they gonna get more attention from women. When in reality, if you're just a creepy ass nigga, you're just a creepy ass nigga, bro. Now you're just a creepy ass nigga with titties. That's it. Like, I don't get it. So when a nigga chop his dick off and realize, oh, none of this shit changes. I just have to change myself and be better. Life gets better. Like, then he's like, damn, I can't go backward because my dick is off. So now he wants to go delete himself because he can't be a man and he has to be a fucking woman for the rest of his life. Fucking sick.
Well, I don't know. Everyone's different, but I think, putting in hormone blockers or putting in hormones in you in general is going to probably lead to some instabilities.
Okay, so you think
It's not
there's more,
natural.
So you think there's more like negatives rather than positives? Or do you think there's any real positives?
To trannies, they provide zero value to society. Gays too, zero value to society.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
The Chevy Silverado
Society only works if we have families. Gays cannot make families. They do not provide nothing to society. I don't even think trannies can make families. Like, I don't even think they can, unless you're a guy and you're fucking a girl, but you want to be the girl and the girl wants to be the guy and she likes getting fucked and you like fuck, like, you see what I'm saying? Unless it's some dumb shit like that, I guess, but they still not contributing shit because then their children are gonna grow up fucking retarded and fucked up and then mental and not contribute to society. So they're gonna be detrimental to society and then they're gonna start exposing it to other people because other people are gonna see the bullshit and it's gonna start degenerating society. So it's like a bunch of degenerates just start running. That's what I'm saying. Like, you cannot allow. There's some shit you just cannot allow.
1500.
Some shit you just
Best
gotta
in
say
class
no to,
standard
guys.
cargo bed volume.
It's okay to say no. Shit, you niggas be scared to say no.
Hi,
You-
Myron.
Just gonna
What's
let a
up,
nigga
man?
take your ass?
I just want to start saying, so I'm Jewish. I lived in Israel for a certain period of time,
All right.
and
He
one
said
of
he's
my
Jewish and he's lived in Israel for a certain period of time.
yeah, and one of my close friends is also Arab, and I'm still in touch with him until this day, and he's one of my close friends. So I do want to say that there's a lot of people there that do want to live in peace,
Sure.
but I also want to start saying, so you obviously criticize Israel, the Israeli government a lot, so I kind of like don't understand why you don't criticize Hamas also, because I know there's a lot of peace treaties on the table that Israel has offered Hamas in the past.
Bro, I can't stand these lame ass niggas that say this. Bro, giving a nigga this piece of land, this much of land, and saying, oh, we made a peace treaty, that doesn't mean shit. Like, you niggas are so funny. I'm gonna make sure I give them the smallest piece of land, but we're gonna say it's a peace treaty. We're not gonna say how much what we're doing in the peace treaty. We're just gonna call it a peace treaty so nobody knows what we're doing in it. And what they don't realize is we're really not giving them shit, which is why they're not accepting the peace treaty. Cause they just wanna die. They all just wanna die. They just wanna get bombed all the time. So they don't wanna accept the peace treaty. You niggas are like, that doesn't even make sense.
And they just didn't accept it.
Stupid.
So obviously, I thought the most beneficial thing for them would be to accept it, to end the war, obviously.
Well, okay. So when it comes to the peace deals, a lot of the times it's not a good deal. Israel breaks a lot of the ceasefires. And here's the thing: I've criticized Hamas as well. Like, the thing is that we never. It's not Hamas that Hamas gets criticized no matter what, right? But we don't criticize the Israeli government or the IDF for what they're doing. It wasn't until they did what they did in Gaza that we finally, started actually talking about this topic. So that's kind of what it is when it comes to that, why it's a problem. And then let's just be honest here. What Israel's done over the past 2 years has been an atrocity, a genocide, and they've killed more people in the past 2 years than Hamas has ever done. Probably any of these organizations, whether it's Hezbollah, Hamas, etc., they've killed more than they've done probably all combined, because when this is all said and done, it's going to be hundreds of thousands that died. That's one. And then two, the other question you asked was about Israel and Arab relations, or what was the other one?
No, I just want to say
Or
that.
the ceasefires, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
the deals.
ceasefires.
Oh, the other thing is that, when it came to the hostage thing, the hostage negotiations, Hamas understood that the only levers they had was the hostages. So they had to negotiate from a position of, well, we want the war to completely end. One of the biggest things that held up the conflict was Hamas said, we'll give you guys all the soldiers back, all the hostages back, but we need a permanent ceasefire. Netanyahu wouldn't concede to that.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. They didn't really offer. I heard every time, like, we offered them something, they just opposed to it, and they didn't really want to accept. We released a lot of prisoners that were they did convicted crimes, we release them back to Hamas for them to have it for the hostages. So obviously, I feel like Israel
That's the minority.
Did try.
The minority of people that were actually like criminals in these hostage exchanges, that was the minority. The majority actually were like innocent people. Like, another thing too is like it's funny because like Israel will say, "Oh, give us back our hostages." Israel has like 11,000 people imprisoned, and a significant amount of them are in prison without charge, no trial, no due process whatsoever. They're just sitting in jail. And on top of that, they like get raped by the Israeli government. Like they literally, one guy got sodomized on camera, and when they tried to arrest those soldiers and put them in jail, Israelis rioted and said, "Yo, we need to release these guys because we have the right to rape Palestinian prisoners."
I mean, obviously, I don't think that's really true because I do know. Okay, so maybe
there's footage from the Tenemon prison of them sodomizing a Palestinian prisoner.
So nobody's like above the law in Israel. So obviously, there's also soldiers that they go to prison jail for doing those kind of stuff that they did. Some of those soldiers do go to jail for doing those kind of stuff, and nobody's above the law in Israel. So there are a lot of instances where some of those were convicted. They try to kill people, and I know there's a lot of stabbing occurrences also that everywhere in Israel trying to occur. So like,
what's annoying is this nigga is in America and he doesn't see any of this shit. Like, look it up, bro. You can look all this shit up, bro. You don't have to come up here and be dumb and ask questions. Look it up. You have a supercomputer in your hand right now. Hopefully they don't blow these shits up like they did to the fucking niggas in Israel. Like they did to the pages there. But yeah, like look this shit up, bro. Stop being dumb.
Yeah, I get it. You're saying that some of them get held accountable.
Yeah,
But the point I'm trying to make is that they raped the guy on camera. Footage came out. They went to jail.
I agree with you.
After they went to jail, people literally rioted and said, "We need to release them because we have the right to rape our prisoners in our jails." And then on top of that, it gets even better. Like last week, like Netanyahu got pissed off at the woman that authorized the release of the footage, and she's going to get arrested, or she already got arrested now at this point. So, he's not mad that they raped the prisoners. He's mad that the footage came out.
Yeah, okay. So I also have a question.
That's your government.
I get. I also have a question about the two-state solution. So the Palestinians, they got offered that at 48, 67. They got offered that a bunch of times, but they always kind of want to refuse for that. And I know there's a lot of instances where in 67, I think we offered them a two-state solution. There were the Oslo agreements, obviously, which gave them authorization in the West Bank. And obviously Israel pulled out of Gaza in 2007, I think sometimes around that, and left them have their own government and stuff, and the result was creating Hamas. So what do you think about that?
Okay, so I love when Zionists bring up this thing. All the deals, the partition plans that the Israelis came up with were not fair. They were all absolutely lopsided, and no one with half a brain would accept it. For example, so let's start with 1937. 1937, there was a Peel Commission, right? Yeah. With the Peel Commission, Ben Gurion admitted to his son in his memoirs back in October of 1937 that the whole purpose of the Peel Commission was to kind of get in front of the international community and say, look, we're legit. The state of Israel is legit. We want to go ahead and have some type of peace. And I think at that point they had agreed to like maybe 20% of the land or whatever it may be. But they simply did that to just kind of come out into the international community for legitimacy. But the purpose was always to expand more territory and eventually kick the Palestinians out. This is what Ben Gurion said in his memoirs to his son. So they negotiate in bad faith. Then you fast forward to 1948 with that partition plan. The Israelis wanted 56% of the land, despite only owning 6% of the land that they actually paid for. They wanted the Palestinians to have about 40% of the land, and they wanted all the best land with the best farmland. They had their labor unions, which they were pushing out Palestinians, and they couldn't work. And they wanted and they were only about 30% of the population at the time. So they wanted 56% of the land, even though they only owned legally 6%, and they're only 33% of the population. So of course the Palestinians said, fuck no, we're not agreeing to that, right? So, and then we can fast forward to the Oslo Accords because that's the next major one. With the Oslo Accords, that was a bullshit deal too, because what ended up happening was Yasser Arafat conceded a whole bunch of things to the Israelis.
I literally just said this, yo. I literally just said this.
He conceded, recognized them as a state, denouncing terrorism and violence, and their right to exist in peace. That's a huge concession. What did the Israelis give? Nothing except for accepting the Palestinian Authority and recognizing them as some type of authority. But they gave them no sovereignty. And quite frankly, the Palestinian Authority acts as just another label, another level of Shin Bet. So they didn't get any type of autonomy whatsoever. And what they agreed to was like, okay, we'll continue to negotiate and have more discussions. Well, what happened? Yitzhak Rabin gets assassinated by a far-right member from the Likud party, who that's the party that Benjamin Netanyahu is a part of. And to this day, Yitzhak Rabin's wife thinks that Netanyahu is behind him getting killed, which I wouldn't be too surprised, because who came into power after Yitzhak Rabin? Benjamin Netanyahu. And then since Benjamin Netanyahu has been in since like 1996, what he's been doing, he's been trying to sabotage the two-state solution since forever. And he got caught admitting this in the West Bank when he was talking to a bunch of settlers in Hebrew. He got caught doing this. So what's my bottom line here? The bottom line is that the Israelis will go ahead and put out an olive branch saying, like, let's go ahead and have diplomacy and have peace. But they do everything in their power to sabotage it or give them a fucked up deal that they know that they're not going to accept. And that accounts for the Clinton administration when they try to go ahead and have deals then. It's all bullshit. It's if you actually look at the terms of the deal, no one would accept it. And at the end of the day, it's never about them getting any type of sovereignty. And they've been expanding the West Bank legally since. That's why they gave them Gaza, as a matter of fact, because they looked at it like, okay, we're having problems here in Gaza. It's too much of a headache. Let's give them Gaza and then continue to expand the West Bank. And that's what they've done.
Yeah, but that's like illegal settlers, though. I feel like
You
they're
said
also
legal?
Illegal.
Yeah,
Like, that's illegal settlers.
100%.
That's like
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
not like they're not authorized by Israel to like do that. Like Israel doesn't fund them or anything like
But
that.
they're still
to, like,
expanding.
do
And
that.
and actually, a lot of our tax dollars go to
I
those
mean,
West
there's
Bank
also
settlers.
20% Arabs in Israel, so I mean, you can like say legitimately it's the same thing, kind of. There's also 20% Arabs in Israel, so if there's also a few settlers in the West Bank, I don't think they're what percent.
The majority of those settlers are like American Jews. Like, I find it absolutely preposterous that some Jewish dude from Brooklyn can go over to Israel, set up in the West Bank, and kick a Palestinian out and say, "Oh yeah, this is my land. It was promised to me 3,000 years ago by God."
I mean,
That's absolutely nuts.
Nah, you're right about that. I don't support illegal settlers. I don't support that. But like, also, so my main question.
Oh my goodness, we always get stuck on a Jewish guy. I swear to God, always. That's how it happened last time. That's why the fucking other stream was so short. Now we gotta get into this. I'm sorry. Fuck.
Well, Nick, I wanted to ask you.
But yeah, we always get stuck on some Israeli fucking shit. But yeah, now we're gonna get right into this. Sneako and Adin Ross and Nick and Andrew Tate. We might not even make it to Andrew because I don't even. Oh, okay, he's in, but we might not even make it to him. He might. Oh, never mind. He comes in pretty quickly. Okay, but
A question. So, with what's going on in the world, how do we stop the war in your eyes? Like, how do we stop what's going on? There's a multiple wars going on, right? So,
stop funding these niggas. That's really pretty much how you stop it. Because the only way they can continue these wars is if we keep giving them the money and the missiles and the weaponry. So all we gotta do is stop funding them, and they would get fucked pretty quick.
in your eyes, what do we do to stop the war? Now, I know you are gonna probably be like, let's get rid of Israel, but it's obviously, no. Okay, so what do you?
Just got to cut the aid. There is a genocide going on in Gaza, and it's horrible. That's what they destroyed half the infrastructure. They probably killed hundreds of thousands with the famine and everything. It's just not moral. We got to cut the aid. If you cut the aid, the war stops. But the other thing is, Israel wants to bring us into a war with Iran and Hezbollah. It's going to unroll in phases. It's going to unravel first Hamas, then Hezbollah, then Iran. They want to do regime change in Iran, and they want us to do it. They've wanted it for 20 years, specifically Netanyahu. We got to cut the aid. If Israel is dependent on our money and our military, then we should call the shots and say, your war ends now. There's going to be a Palestinian state. You're not going to decapitate the Iranian regime, and that's it. In Russia, you got to say that Ukraine will never join NATO and allow Russia to maintain its sphere of influence with Belarus, Ukraine, Central Asia. It's a multipolar world, and they should have their slice of it. They get a vote, and, we're going to lose this war in Ukraine if we don't. So I think that's how you solve it. And that, I think Trump would do the latter. I think Kamala may do the former, although you're probably right. She'd probably give Israel their war anyway.
So who do you think is the revolutionary that you want in 2028?
They haven't announced themselves yet. I don't know who it would be. And it would be, the problem is, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, my bad. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think there is anybody that's really good, And here's the thing. Trump in 2016, let's be very clear. He said, let's end the wars. Let's build a wall. Let's make America great again.
Did he do it?
And no, he didn't, but he didn't because he hired like establishment Republicans and they sabotaged it. Now, he should have come back and said, I'm only going to hire loyalists. I'm only going to hire America Firsters, but he's not doing that now. And so what you have is he's talking about stapling green cards to diplomas. That means mass immigration. He's threatening a war with Iran. And so for that reason, I'm saying, like, as a conservative, as an America Firster, he lost me. He became like another Republican. So, but looks like Andrew Tate's here. So we can introduce him.
Hi, guys. I'm just sorting out my tech. You can hear me and see me?
Yes, sir. I like your new background and the new camera, maybe.
Oh.
Looks good.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Are you still on drugs, Adin?
No, I'm not. How's your case going?
Oh, well, I am a rapist, as you saw. I saw that on Twitter. You said I was a rapist. But, I'm kind of leaning into it now. Like, I'm a human trafficker. It's how I got so rich. How did you get that Bugatti? I human traffic. When they come up to me with the TikToks, what's your job? I'm like, I human traffic. That's what I do. So I have no problem with you saying that. In fact, I kind of like the rumor. It's kind of cool. Street cred.
But it was a joke. I know you're not a rapist. Just
No joking. No joking. Don't make me rape your mom. Don't make me do it. I'll find her ass and I'll make it real.
Well,
so stick to your words.
You can't leave the country, so that's impossible.
I will human traffic your mother, Adin. Don't fuck with me.
How? You can't even leave the country.
Yet.
Okay, guys. It's okay, guys. Adin's Jewish. No.
Case is falling apart in real time, and I need some new, some new spice in my life. Like they've only raided my house 4 times. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning expecting the busting with guns, and when they don't, I'm kind of like, you're making your coffee a little bit sad. You got that sad look on your face, like, ah, I thought they cared about me. They don't care about me anymore. It's kind of funny. They used to think I was the biggest problem on the internet when I said women couldn't drive. But now everyone knows women can't drive, and everyone just agrees with it. So it's just like, oh, fuck it, let him off. So now I just keep winning in court. Fun's over. I need to up the game. I had to do something else. The whole point of life is to explore the map of the world, right? What better level to the map than a Romanian dungeon? It's cool.
Well, congrats on getting your cars back. It was $40 million worth of vehicles returned.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, yeah, they even gave me my shit back. Like, where's the fun now? I am so over this case. People keep asking me about it, and they're like, oh, hey, Andrew, it's been a while. How's the case? Like, do you guys have any idea what it's like to go to court in Romania? Like, I don't even know what they're fucking saying. I don't even know what's going on. I haven't read my indictment. I haven't read any of it. This whole 3-year saga, I've not read any of it. I don't know what I'm accused of properly. It's just like going through the motions. It's like either put me in jail or let me go. It is what it is at this point. I feel like just saying, Your Honor, you weren't there. So move to dismiss all charges, please. But I don't think that would work in a legal defense. If I spoke Romanian, that's what I'd say. But I don't. So I'm either going to go to jail or I'm not. But it looks like I'm not. So they gave me all my stuff back, so I'm richer. And it is what it is. What about you guys? What have you all been up to?
Chilling.
I saw you debating I saw some little homo earlier on your show. Who is he?
He wants to debate you next.
Well, of course he does. Who doesn't want to fucking debate me? He wants relevancy. What's his worldviews? What does he think?
Kamal over Trump. He believes that homosexuality is not morally bad. What are the other ones?
He thinks that Kamala's better on immigration. He thinks that being gay is good. He thinks that transgenderism is good.
This is one of the only things I disagree with Nick on, because Nick, I actually agree with 99% of the things you say. But don't you kind of feel like when you see little dickheads like that the white people just deserve to lose their country? Don't you just kind of look and go, I mean, I'm brown, right? So I'm on both things. But I just kind of look and go, yep, that's why you're fucked. That's why we're going to keep coming. We're going to fuck your women. We're going to give them babies. We're going to keep walking across the border. You ain't going to do shit. Oh, wait, look, who's the defenders of your race? Who's the men who are going to stand up and defend us? And you got this dipshit. Then please come destroy us. So what the fuck you want?
True. Well, that's why all the defenders of white people aren't even white. I'm Mexican. They all point that out. They're like, this guy's actually Mexican. And it's true. It's like, who stands up for white people? You, Sneako, me, Zerko, who's Albanian. It's like Myron, who's Sudanese. And I'm like, I'm waiting for like the
I'm black.
blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy to save us. But you get these people like that guy who was just on here. They're all pro-gay.
It's very interesting how it's the psychology of just begging for the decimation, hoping that they'll be eaten last by the crocodile. They think if I'm a big enough of a cuck, then they'll keep me as a little serf. They'll keep me as a little slave. And not understanding that the majority of white people are already marginalized in a country you're in the majority of. What's going to happen when you're fucking the minority? It's over. It's fucking over. It's over. Sneako and I disagreed about this when I was saying that race is super real. It is, because humans are tribal. Humans are tribal, and I'm telling you, that's how it works. If you don't think humans are tribal, sir, Sneako, go to fucking jail. And you'll see right away how tribal it is. You'll see this group, that group, this group, that group. Humans are tribal. So when you have a country like America where you have so much hatred towards white people, which has been instigated and pushed via the propaganda machine and via the educational system, they're currently a majority, but they're soon going to become a minority because they don't reproduce and
the boys
borders are wide open and little dickheads like whoever that was are begging for it. The future is bleak for the white man. It's true.
Well, I've never.
And I say that as a brown man. The future is bleak. It's easy to see.
I've always agreed with Nick that race is real. That debate can never really be won. Race is real. But I don't believe that any race is superior to another race. And I don't think that's something that you disagree with as well. I think the wording of your tweet was a little bit, and it seemed like you understood why that is saying that white supremacy is totally, or white supremacists are totally right, why that's incorrect. I don't think that white people are better than black people. And there's a lot of people on Twitter, maybe I'd have never said that Nick was a white supremacist either. Nick wants to have a debate about this as well, but I don't think that any race is superior to another.
Well, he fucking better be a white supremacist because he looks white to me, so you better fucking be. I don't know what kind of cuck you have to be to not believe you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet anyway.
Your mic went out.
I thought they had to bleep him.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
What Tate's about to say though makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you think your race is the best? You see what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you want your race to be the best? Like, why wouldn't you want to be the best? Like, that just sounds like he said, like, that sounds like you being a bitch.
The last part.
Like, for example, like when I played basketball, I never wanted to be the fucking the next nigga. I want to be that nigga. I don't want to be the next nigga. So I was training to be that nigga. I was never training to be, okay, hopefully I can help this nigga. No, fuck helping this nigga. I'm trying to be the nigga these niggas is helping. I'm trying to be that nigga. So that's how I would train. So I see them. I understand the competitive mindset. Like, why wouldn't you attribute that to your race as well?
Probably didn't hear.
I think being mixed race is the ultimate human. I think being hybrid is the best possible existence. If you're white and you're not a white supremacist, then you're fucking gay. And if you're black and you're not a black supremacist, then you're gay. I believe being mixed race is the perfect possible way to be. I love being a day walker. I'm black in jail. I'm white in court. I can do whatever I need to do. It's great. I don't see why you'd be anything else. And when the tweet I made was saying race is super real and that white supremacists are right, they're being replaced, and that their life is going to become very difficult, they are. That's completely true. I also believe that cultures are real, and I also believe that cultures derive actions and they derive certain habits from people. I believe that there's a culture in Congo which is different than the culture in the West. So you can sit and say white people act a certain way, black people act a certain way, or you can pussy out and say it's cultural, but that's the reality of it. And I also do believe, I'll tell you right now, I'll say it, black people we're better athletes. Just the truth. Look at the NFL, look at the NBA. We're better athletes. White people are more organized. Bro, take it from me. It's the reality of the game. I live with white and black people in my house. Half my family's black, half my family's white. I'm not saying one's better than the other. What's better depends on the scenario. You can't say if you're white, you should be saying white people are the best. If you're black, you should be saying black people are the best. But for me, I'm just sitting there saying, well, it depends on the scenario. If I'm in the Sahara, or if I'm gonna have a street fight, or if I'm in the desert or whatever, then I want to have all my black friends with me. If I have to go through my legal paperwork, I want my white friends with me. All my black guys are like, this is long. Just tell the judge, just go jail, bro. Fuck it. Like, so there's different attitudes towards things. My tweet was pretty clear, I thought. My tweet was that white supremacists are right. They have a huge problem in their nations. Pretending you don't is the surest path to destruction. And white people pretending they don't are the biggest fucking traitors of all, which is what I tweeted. That The white man's problem is not the black man as much as it is the fucking treasonous cowards on their side. They're being betrayed by their fellow man, and mostly they're betrayed by their women. The white women are betraying the race completely. Take it from me. Because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit.
Where we
So the white women are betraying the race.
You said
Yeah, they're the ones who spearhead the feminism movement. They're the ones who really be at the forefront of the feminism movement is the white girls.
Premises are totally right. I think they're wrong about outsourcing the blame on a lot of people. The blame will be about the Zionists, will be about the Jews, will be about the blacks that are coming in. I think there needs to be more self-accountability from white people, especially the ones that want re-immigration and all these things to say, well, why is the birth rate declining? Is it because everything else is outsourced? Or do we need to blame ourselves for these problems?
I don't think it's wrong to blame. You have to place the blame because the problem is we are being told by outsiders that we're racist and we're being disarmed by these things. And I don't know if it's even necessarily blame. Like when I look at immigration, you can understand why desperate people want to come to America and Europe. Of course they want to come here. We have better stuff. They don't like the Constitution. They don't like America. They don't like liberalism. They like welfare. They want housing. They want healthcare. And you get it. But there is clearly a reason why they're coming in. And it is true that white people are a big part of it, but there is also an active subversion. And like the first political act is to decide who's on your team and who's not on your team. And if we could say that the immigrants are not on our team because they want to come here and we don't want them here. And if you could say that the liberal white people aren't on our team because they're letting them in, you could also say that there's subversive elements like the Zionists or like liberal Jews, like Soros and others that are poisoning the well, poisoning the culture, bringing in the immigrants. And it's really more about identification. But I do agree, there is a spiritual crisis. It does derive from, like Andrew said, white people are afraid of their own shadow. We're afraid of ourselves. We're afraid to say white supremacy because whites did dominate the globe for 500 years and did subordinate all the people and oppress all the people. And now we're sort of volunteer. It's like Andrew said, taking the back seat and saying, yeah, come on in, let it all happen. And so to the extent that we have to blame ourselves, we need to have a spiritual revival to say, white people can be active too. White people are going to be bossed around by women. They're not going to be told they're racist by minorities. They're not going to be neutered with these guilt trips, Holocaust museums and slavery museums and this and that. And I think that's why it's better to say white supremacy, even if it's not technically, I don't think people are inherently better or worse. But it's like, yeah, we're the shit. Yeah, we run shit. We went to the moon. We built everything. We created the world. White people are afraid to say that because it might offend the other. But the other's not afraid of offending us. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, just listen to Dr. Umar. One live of Dr. Umar, I promise you, as soon as the live start, no Snow Bunny, black women forever, Snow Bunny never. Imagine, I'm trying to tell you, imagine a white guy getting on a live and saying never date black women. Imagine that. Like, y'all niggas go crazy when he say the shit. So I can only imagine another person saying it.
Going to be South Africa, like Andrew said. If it's bad now, if there's grievance and resentment-based politics against whites now, what'll it look like when we're in the minority and they're running the government, they're running the institutions? They're going to kill us. They're going to kill us, take our shit. They're going to realize they messed up, and they're going to try and bring us back. That's what happened in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's kind of interesting because if all the white people, if black people say we want a black-only town, cool. If the white people say we want a white-only town, there's a mental breakdown. And the reason there's a mental breakdown is because people know that white-only town will be a place everyone wants to go. So they'll say, why are we not allowed in? That's the reality of it. If you don't believe humans are tribal, then you're a fool. That's the reality of how it works. And as for talking about blaming others, when you go to battle, you have to identify the traitors amongst you plus your enemy. There are people who are deliberately trying to subvert Western nations, and they're trying to do it on purpose. And they're trying to thin the culture to the point where the only thing there is to do is chase money because they have the money. This is very interesting. I live in Romania, right? It's 98% white and it's 98% Romanian. Everyone's Romanian here. Even when it's a poor country, but it's very safe. You can walk the street, you can I drove a $5 million car, or wear $1 million watch, it's very safe. Why is that? Well, if you say to a Romanian, why do you think Romania is safe? They say, well, Romanians don't hurt Romanians. That's how they think, right? I'm not Romanian, but that's just their general attitude. Whereas and the culture's thick. It's unified by lots of things. All the people speak the same language. They watch the same TV shows. They have the same Christmas. They eat the same food. They have the same same upbringing. They know each other. Blah blah blah. America has none of that left. There's nothing that unifies.
There's no unity. There's no unifying.
There's not even a sense of history. We have different versions of history, and everyone disagrees on who's good, who's bad. Any opinion you have in America, there's a group of people who want you dead for it. It's bullshit. So the only thing that unifies is come to America, get rich. That's all there is in all the Western world. Come, get rich, which is fine, except people aren't getting rich anymore. So this is why it's all fucking falling apart. Plus, the people who want that to happen are the people who have all the money. So that everyone's just chasing what they have because that puts them more valuable, right? If I have all the money, I want everyone to chase my money. So we're not even, if you look at a country like America, they're not even trying to make people have a base belief and respect for the country anymore. At least in Dubai, which everyone goes to. Because you want to talk about immigration, you can talk about Dubai. Dubai is 80% immigrants. And there's no racism and there's no problems. Well, that's because everyone turns up and they behave themselves because they're shit scared. 2, they feel lucky to be there. 3, yes, they get money. But the first 2 are respect for the law. And secondly, they feel lucky to be there. Nobody in Dubai talks bad about Dubai. Nobody. You can't find one. Try. Because they respect the place. Yeah. America's now fallen to such disarray. There's no respect for it. When I go to America, it just looks like a fucking dump. I'm from Romania. I live in Romania. It looks better than America. So, like, if America wants to pull off this immigration thing, that's fine. But you need to fix all your infrastructure. You need to have people respecting the place. You need to have people respecting the flag, no matter what. Or you need to be instantly deported. You need to have something that unifies people. At least be unified behind the flag. If you're not unified by anything else,
America
unified
first.
by race, religion, culture, whatever. You need to have something. Perfect. What does America got? We can make money. That is it. So what's going to happen when the money dries up? Well, look at the democratic cities. You'll see what happens when the money dries up. Everyone's doing drugs because they believe that they're some fucking rock star. Why? We talk about, this is very interesting because we talk about poverty making people do drugs. I live in the poorest country in Europe. There's no drugs. So what America has this, its Achilles heel, its strength and weakness is the same thing. It's this individualism. That's why you have so many fantastic entrepreneurs. That's why you have so many fantastic athletes. It's true. But it goes the other way. When you tell every single dipshit he's special, then he deserves a special existence. And if he doesn't get it, he ends up on fucking heroin. You don't have these problems in other countries because not everyone's told they're special. You think fucking Ching Chang in China's told he's special? Work in the factory, sir. That's your life. Cool. Done. So, like, America has these huge cultural issues. And the more tribalized it gets, the worse it is going to be for white people. And the reason I'll actually say that is because I think the white people they're constrained by their tolerance to the point where they're neutered. They have no balls. They have no balls left. And it's a power vacuum. And the power vacuum is going to be filled. That's what's going to happen. White people are least likely to be violent. They're the least likely to riot, the least likely to complain. If they do something, it's done in such an organized, nice way that nobody gives a shit. So it is what it is. How do we expect this trend to end besides the decimation of the white race? It's pretty obvious for me to see. I'm saying as a brown man, this is just obvious to see. Plus, the game's not fair. And the game's not fair because a lot of this comes down to reproduction. And the beautiful thing that built the Western countries that we want to live in, everyone wants to live in a Western country, everybody, is get married, have a family. Yeah, I agree. But then you can't outcompete the people who turn up and just breed. I'll say it right now as a brown man myself. I got 7 fucking baby mothers. How you gonna beat me? I'm the repopulator. You can't. See, something has to be done. But if you're not even gonna discuss it, you're not even gonna discuss the issue, then it's fucking over. It's over. Now, we can have a different conversation about whether the world will be a nicer place when everyone's brown or whether it's a better place, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think we can debate that white people are going to go extinct in the next 100 years. I think that's pretty obvious for anyone to see. Isn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree. That's, I was at Charlottesville. I was at January 6th, all that stuff. And it's like, for years they called it a conspiracy theory. You call white genocide, white replacement. It's obviously what's going on. It's only happening in white countries. It's non-white people from Africa, Asia, Latin America, in the global south moving north. They come to our countries. They have a higher fertility rate. And they, sometimes they call it population refreshment. Okay, well, that's a semantic difference. We're not having kids. They want to bring in the immigrants to make up the difference. Eventually, they're going to outnumber us. In Canada, they like doubled the population with immigrants. It's like all Asians there. It happened in 20 years. It's totally insane. And then you have the political effect of then the majority wields the power. In a democracy, in a country that isn't colonial or a dictatorship, the more non-whites you have, they're going to exert their own ethnic or political self-interest. They're going to run our stuff. It's just a natural conclusion. And for years, they said, well, if you say that fact and it's a math equation, you're racist, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're a white nationalist. And there's like a special, it's like you said, the game is rigged. For years, if you talk about it, they censor you. On Facebook, they said white separatism, white nationalism. If you are those things, you can't be on Facebook and Instagram. Well, guess what? That's the means of communication. If you want people to know something or think something, you have to be on Instagram and Facebook, or one of the big ones. And they are the biggest ones. Facebook's like 3 billion users, Instagram's over 1 billion. They take you off if you say that. And it was like that on Twitter. It is like that on YouTube. You can't even get the word out. And then, of course, we know that if you do try to come together politically in spite of that, like in Germany, they have the AfD, which says we're going to remigrate all the immigrants, then they just ban them from running. They start arresting the leaders. And I know a lot of them. You know a lot of them, Andrew. You know Thierry Baudet in Netherlands, and there's Dries van Langenhoven in Belgium, and AfD is one of the good ones in Germany. When they start to win, they just start arresting them and throw them out. And it's like, you really do have to come up with like a sophisticated plan, but it starts with the conversation to bring people in and get people thinking our way on this to address the crisis. Because like you said, like it, love it, indifferent, in 100 years, it's a math equation. There's going to be very few white people globally. There's going to be a lot of Africans, a lot of Indians, some Asians, some Hispanics. That's going to be your world. And it's like, if you like the world that Africa is, you're going to love the world in 2100 because there'll be 4 billion of them.
Bro, I'm good. I'm good, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm good. I do not want to go over there. Shit. I do not want nothing east. I don't want none of that shit. I don't want none of that eastern shit. I'm trying to keep everything western. And the only way we keep it western is if we keep... I'm sorry. I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this. I'm sorry. White people founded this country, bro. We gotta help them. We gotta figure out how to keep these niggas going. Cause I don't need Jamal and Sharkeisha running my shit. Okay, I don't want none of them niggas running my shit. All right.
And if you like the world,
I need them organized motherfuckers running my shit. Right.
that Europe used to be and America was, well, you're going to hate it in the future because there'll be 20% of the population here, 20% of the population in Europe, and it's just not going to be the same. And people don't realize that. All this DEI, refugee crisis, migrant stuff, this is just going to be life. There's no white flight. You can't get away from it. If you try to create a little polity, it's like, good luck. They're going to drop bombs on it, It's like in South Africa. South Africa, they have a small community called Orania of ethnic Dutch Boers, the white people that used to rule the country. There's like 2,000 people there. They're trying to get 10,000, 20,000. But it's like, what happens if the black African government just decides to drop bombs on them with fighter jets? They're done. So it's like, how do you build a state within a state? It's a very complex problem, and you're not even allowed to talk about it without immense stigma. I talk about it, people say, you're Mexican, you're mixed race. It's like, you're literally mixed race, and you don't need to be white to say, this is factually, indisputably, undeniably what's happening, and this will be the result. So,
This visual's pretty funny, though, because right now you can see the Jews got 3 minorities doing the concept form.
I didn't even see.
But no, I mean, I agree with all of that. Just that the major disagreement is just that some of these, a lot of these people are shills. They come in and they pretend to care about the white race, and I'm sure you've seen it, and there's been disagreements on Twitter about who's a Fed and who's not. A lot of these people are hired to go and stir up division within the Western countries. They don't actually care about the white race. They don't care about the countries. They're getting paid. And I don't think that we should follow these people. So when it comes to the idea of white supremacy, we got to be careful about who we follow, because I think a lot of these people are contributing to the division more than they're saying anything right.
Well, I'm quite Darwinistic. My worldview is quite Darwinistic. I'll be honest with you. When I highlight these things and say these things, it's because it's obvious. I mean, it doesn't mean I like it. It doesn't. I'm not even emotionally invested in it. It's just true. I don't actually give a shit that much because I'm brown passing. I pass for the other team, so it's fine for me. I'm just pointing out because it's obvious as fuck. And I'm not going to sit here and be a person who denies reality. But I'm quite Darwinistic about these things. I'll be honest with you. When I saw that little homo you guys were talking to earlier, I look at it and go, yep. I mean, I know it's easy for me to say, but if the white man's gonna allow this to happen, then I guess it's just the plan. I guess that's just how it's all gonna work out. Some people go extinct. You should have got some claws. Like, I'm not
Natural
here to
selection.
try and. I'll point it out
Evolution.
because it's obvious, but this is what's
Look at
happening.
this.
And then when you talk about how when you highlight these things, you're attacked. They'll attack Nick for being Mexican. Nick's whole life has been derailed for telling the truth, as has mine. You talk about AFD getting arrested. Yeah, I know all about it. They fucking busted my door down. They didn't bust my door down when I had a webcam studio. Oh no, they didn't give a fuck. When I talked about the truth online, they busted my door down for my old webcam studio. Bro, it's all fucking bullshit. So I know all about these things. But when you say this, then it's interesting because I say these things online. I did a tweet that went mega viral where I said it's over for white people. You're not having babies. I did some big tweet. The amount of butthurt bullshit. All these white people are like, yeah, well, fuck off, nigger. You're getting butthurt. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to fucking help you losers. Like, what do you want? Then just go extinct. Then just fuck off. Because your women don't give a shit. Your women are chasing brown men all day. Trust me. So, like, it's interesting. I'm observing it as it's an interesting observation. But you'd be a fool and a liar to try and pretend that Western countries as we know them and the things we love about Western countries isn't going to change when all of the people fucking change. You're a dumbass to pretend that's not the case.
Yeah, guys, like I said earlier, I get it. I know you won't like me for saying it, but like I said, bro, white people founded this country. And we have gotten this far in this country from both of us. But like, white people have been running this country since the start. I would hate to see anything else. All right? I know you're going to call me an Uncle Tom. I get it. I don't give a fuck. I'm a Uncle Tom. I don't want to say that on YouTube. A national socialist. You know what I'm trying to say. But like anti-Semitic, like that's. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm just gonna tell you the truth, okay? All right, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is, bro. Like that's just, and I know that's what. Like I said, black people have a hard time hearing the truth, and I get it. You want niggas to run shit, but I can only imagine. We had a nigga running shit. And he let all the goofy gay shit go through. Everything. He didn't do shit for us niggas. He let all the other goofy shit go through though. Even was bombing niggas. Some nigga who bombed the most niggas. We ain't get not one of them bombs in a check. So yeah. I would rather keep it to them, but we gotta make sure that they're American. I don't care if they're white, they just need to be American. And believe in American values, which are inherently white, but yeah, they need to be American. Definitely. But yeah, guys. Nice, easy little stream. We got through a lot. We got through a lot of that. That's not bad. But yeah, we will definitely be live Friday. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, we definitely be live Friday with some new shit. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see y'all boys on Friday. Peace.
The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these mother like they mean something.
Let's go to TikTok.